Man, I don't race it. This only 230 or 220 over here.
Battery? Yeah, I think 230. Yeah, because the micro beams were taking away voltage.
And they come apart
Exactly. Just for like the parts.
But it comes with the, no, not the inside. The tubes and the 3D scanners, yeah. Careful.
Nah, they ain't drag racing.
Nice.
Thank you.
They said it looks easier with huge tires.
It does.
Yeah.
It is somewhat. That's why we end up setting more difficult courses.
Yeah.
For these cars. So, because these cars can obviously make bigger climbs in terms of like breakovers.
Yeah.
And they're not inhibited by as much stuff up front.
There's no bumper in the front.
Yeah,
so
there's
you
no.
can just put that tire up to any rock and crawl it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
They don't make no cheap version of this, huh? All the ones like the competition, that's high.
Competition for a reason.
Okay.
Komodo.
Mm.
No, I mean he's done a lot of factory on that. There's factory drive shafts.
I mean, you can get away. This one was built, but it's still a matter of the chassis. Like the company that made this particular chassis is called High Altitude Performance, and they're in Colorado.
Yeah.
And
These cars are real popular where there's a lot of
The cool
rock
thing
around.
about that chassis was it was built to take like the Capra transmission
So,
and the axles and
yeah,
links
the-
and everything.
the axles themselves, for the most part, at least the axles on this car come from the axial Capra.
Yeah.
So that ends up being the base car, and you can get that car for about $300. But then from there, you can also just piece together the axles, because you end up replacing a lot of the plastic with brass or with aluminum or with stainless steel or titanium. And that's kind of how this car has built, because these are deluxe fabrication, makes the shocks.
Okay.
So this shock is from Deluxe Fab. Hot Racing makes this brass steering knuckle. Thank you, Gavin. And then like the rim is a Crawler Innovations rim. The hub that goes inside of it is a Vanquish Products aluminum hub. And then the foams, the tire is Proline. This is a Proline Ibex, and then the foams inside are a double deuce, a triple stage Crawler Innovations double deuce foam. So you can see the carbon fiber chassis. These parts came from High Altitude Performance in Colorado, but the skid plate that goes in here came from UC Fab, and it's a different, because it was smooth. It's machined so that it's flat, so that it slides across easier. The other thing too is this particular transmission, Deluxe Fab makes this transmission, and it's a reverse output transmission. So when I give the vehicle throttle, you'll notice that this drive shaft and this drive shaft spin the opposite directions.
Yeah, I seen that.
In my other car.
Okay.
Same
Yeah.
transmission.
That takes care of the over torquing.
Yep,
So
torque twist.
the other thing too is that it's spinning this one faster than it's spinning the rear.
Let me see again. It do
Two
look.
different directions.
Oh, it do look like that back one going faster.
Well, the front one, this front one is one.
Oh,
that's
this the
spinning.
front?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was looking at that one. I thought that was the back. Yeah, it's going faster than the back.
Overdriven.
And so it overdrives the front, and by driving it here I can leave the same gear reduction in the portal boxes.
And them brushless motors?
Yes, this is a brushless motor from Castle Creations. Censored, so it's a Castle Creations censored motor. I think this is the 1900 kV, and Futaba transmitter and receiver, and that's a Castle Creations Mamba Micro Pro ESC, and the little 3S LiPo battery.
They said 80C discharge.
Yeah, 80C. Because again, look how tiny this is. It's only 3S 600 mAh, and yeah, 80C. Because if I get this thing in a bind, I want to make sure that I already know how strong of parts I put in it.
Yeah.
If I get it in a bind and it's important enough to me, I want to have the power to break it out of the bind, even if it breaks the truck. So the only way to make that happen is with 80C or higher batteries, because the higher the C rating, the more power.
That's like the torque?
In some regards, yeah, because the battery it has that much more area in which to pull from.
Do they have like the best in the world events in these rock climbers?
They used to. They still. There's unfortunately a decade ago, this was a much more popular sport, and it had a lot bigger following. Yeah. And I would say that its crescendo, or the best, was probably like roughly 2012-ish. Yeah. And then from there, the organization started, as the cars began to change too, because basically this is like a builder's and driver's car, and a lot of people don't either have the knowledge or the tools or talents or ability to build this. And as life progresses, you know, if there's not guys building them and they're not readily available, then something kind of dies off. Yeah. So that was part of the reason too of reaching out to you and going out to a larger audience, and why we do this, because we're the only club in the state of Texas that even really comps these trucks, because most people are more interested in the scale or modeling aspect of the cars. Okay. You know, they are concerned with the aluminum bead locks and the color of the rings and those sort of things, and they're concerned about how far the bumper sticks out, and there's different categories of RC crawling, and so that
definitely the scale part, and then
you've got guys that they're essentially modelers. You know, they're getting into it for the modeling. And then there's other guys where, you know, I want to try and you have a good one, sir.
Hey, bro, it's beautiful.
All right, man. You have you a good day, man.
I'm going to find you on Facebook.
I'm be on there. I'm going to be there.
I appreciate you, man. This won't be the last time we see each other, man. See y'all later, man.
Brilliant piece of machinery.
All right, they're already starting course 2 if you...
Okay, let's get over there. Where they at?
We're right over. Actually, over here.
He done started? Oh yeah, it look like he done started. That's Blake over there.
Yup. Going first.
They always sending Blake first, man.
Got that lucky drop.